intro. Okay, so I really want to say uh, my firstborn. She is turning 8 next month, and next week she's going through a very important step, which is that music is loud. Okay, I think you're talking about my main intro. Uh, that is gone now, right, Bobby? This is why, like, whoa, everybody's saying my music is loud. I'm getting text messages. So, uh, sorry, guys. Can you guys confirm that it's gone now? Right now, you should have my main intro that is playing in the background. Wow, for the first time, my wife is joining and she's actually chatting with people because I know she wants to meet my new guest. So, anyways, so my beautiful daughter is getting her first Holy Communion this Saturday. So we're quite excited. We bought the dress a long time ago, so we're supposed to get this done back in March. But unfortunately, you know, everybody knows COVID-19 just couldn't get things going. But fortunately now it's happening. So we got her a mask with the cross on and everything else. So I'm very pumped, and at the same time, we can hear you now. Okay, thanks, wife. That's very nice of you. At the same time, Travis will be my last guest, where I'm gonna do 2 or 3 shows a week. Starting next week, I will only do this once a week so that I can focus my attention on a bunch of other stuff. As usual, guys, there's quite a few of you, and I see that you guys are chatting away, so I won't pay attention to that till later on. Um, Second thing I want to mention is this show is proudly sponsored by Truly Bobby. Okay, he joins my live chats uh, quite often, and he is offering a course that's starting in November. So this is for those who are trying to make a career change. You're not comfortable with what's going on. You want to talk to a career coach. This kid is doing some great stuff. So I put his banner out here, and it's going to stay on for the entire show. It's trulybobby.com. Make sure you go check him out. Uh, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, and he is also on the one of the channels that I support, which we'll get to right now. So you all know I support quite a few channels, and we're live. Look at that. If you come to my main page and you scroll down, you will see all the channels. I should be adding more. I keep saying this, but I finally found a way where you can move up a channel. All this time, Cone was first, and then whatever order I put it in. But now we can actually play around. So you got Travis Travels, 416 subscribers. Hopefully that goes up for him. He's with us, and he'll be joining very shortly. Cone has a brand new video that's set to premiere tonight. Make sure you guys check that out. Same thing with Nomad Honda. The guy is on a western road trip. He was in the Rockies. I follow him very closely on Instagram, so he's putting some great pictures. Autour du Monde, him and I, we're actually talking about starting a podcast or a YouTube channel where we're going to do a show in French. So we've been talking in the last 2 weeks to try to come up with names and times and so on. So again, this guy makes cool videos. I've never seen Saudi the way he shows us. Like it's pretty awesome. Arti's life. She's in California. She's a good friend of my wife's. She's releasing video on a weekly basis. Her last one is about carving pumpkin, and I can't believe. We'll ask Travis when he comes on. She paid $15 for pumpkin, and you can buy this here for like 60 cents. So I was shocked when I saw that video. Loving life hitched up. These guys have a very interesting challenge going on where you have to answer some random 40 questions. So I was challenged on their last video, so now I have to find a way to creatively deliver that for them. Check them out. Uh, cool couple. I like what they do. They're also they have a RV and they travel across the U.S. Travis, you will probably love these guys off. Tokyo Smith, the guy lives in Japan, puts videos almost every day of some random driving in and out of Japan. So I caught up with this channel yesterday where I think I missed 5 or 6 of them. Paksik, if you want to learn about Malaysian food, this channel is pretty cool. Him too, he had a bunch of videos that came out which I didn't get a chance to watch, but finally I sat down yesterday. Sundays with Heart, a hilarious couple. They were with us on the last show. Check them out, Brian and Leanne. Vala's Classic. She does cooking stuff, but then she also started showing in and out of Malaysia. Man, she put out a video where she did a live feed of some area in Malaysia. I watched the first 10 minutes. I felt like it was what's that movie, Avatar. It was surreal. So I was just telling my wife today that we need to really go back to Malaysia to explore more. Same thing with the RV there. A couple full-time RV with their 2 dogs. Amazing guys. I haven't checked them in a while, so but I think they were on the move and they're finally settled in somewhere. And then finally, Truly Bobby, career coach. Reach out to him if you have any questions. Like, I spoke to him quite a few times in the last few weeks where he would ask me about, what I feel about my career, what do you like, what you don't like, and he's actually learning himself a lot, and then he's putting out some real content. And like I said, he's the main sponsor of the show today, so make sure you guys check him out. So that's it for intros. I got my guest on the other line. His name is Travis. He lives full time in his van. Okay. When my wife found out about this, she was like, whoa. She had so many questions just like I do. And this is another show where I don't have anything formally written down. I'm just going to bring him on board and then we're going to pester him with all kind of questions. He's an open book, quote unquote, exactly as you said. So let me bring him on board and then we'll get to the main event. So Travis, camera, you're on, and I gotta turn your volume on. Okay, so you're live. Hey Travis.
What's up, gang? Hi.
Thank you so much for taking the time and joining my show. I really appreciate you coming on board.
My pleasure. Yeah, no problem.
I've been playing your intro video for the last show and the one before. My wife looked at it. She was like, how does this guy do this? So she had quite a bit of questions, and she didn't. I mean, she doesn't have to tell me that she subscribes to channels. She went and I think she watched a bunch of videos, more than what I did. So when she was asking me, I'm like, oh, I don't think I watched that video yet. So she was all over, and she is now, I don't know, she's somewhere in the house streaming and listening in. So thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
You and I got to know each other. It was a bit of a weird way where you were nice enough to come to my YouTube page, go through it, pull some videos, and you really gave me some awesome feedback. And that's how we got to know. And I think I immediately asked you, man, can you come on my show? Because a lot of my viewers, we struggle. We talk about editing and stuff. So I said, we need you on board so they can help us navigate. And I'm thankful for that.
You're welcome.
So, first question. So I'm going to be all over the place, but I want to first talk about your life living in a van. You live full time.
So I lived full time in my van for 1 year. I have been living with a friend for the last 4 months, but I do plan to move back into the van full time pretty shortly here.
Cool. Now, Um, Watching your intro videos, you mentioned that there's many reasons why somebody would decide to live in a van full time, and then you listed several of them, and one of them that
Mm.
caught my attention was financial. So, you want to walk me through as to what led you to this adventure?
Uh, I came across a video. I'm not really sure where, either Facebook or YouTube. I think it was Dylan McGaster. It was just a van lifer who was making videos about his life, traveling and living in a van, and it just never even occurred to me. Like I never thought of something like that, and I thought it was so funny because I was growing up, my family never did any traveling. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't do anything except for like Disneyland.
Wow.
That was the extent of my traveling as a kid. So when I heard people lived in their vehicles and they were traveling for almost, I was like, well, I got to do that. I mean, I'm 40 something years old. I don't have any kids. I've never been married. What the hell am I waiting for? I'm just working all the time, and I'm doing this rigorous robotic lifestyle of pay my rent, pay my bills, rinse, repeat over and over again. And it was just madness. And once I started to like see all these different lifestyles that people were having on the road and traveling and being happy, I was just like, well, I want that. I'm going to do that.
And you will
So yeah.
just that's your calling. You're like, I'm gonna get on it. Now,
Mm.
how did you decide? Like, okay, I need to buy a van, or did you have a van, or did you convert it? Like, uh, t-
No, I didn't. I had a little Honda. I had a Hyundai Accent. This Peasley little car. It was
yeah.
it was a great A to B car. It got great gas mileage. It was probably the best car I ever owned, but it wasn't, obviously what I was going to live in. I did sleep in it one time. It was actually quite uncomfortable. Yeah. So Dylan McGaster is the guy I was following on YouTube, and it turns out I actually met him not long after, kind of looking into this van life thing. He lived in Joshua Tree, about an hour north of me, and I ran into him at a store, and I just knew that by meeting him, that I was supposed to go in my life. And after I met him, he was kind of like living my dream because he's a YouTuber
Yeah.
and he was making videos about his life and he was doing tour videos about other people's lives. And I was just like, I want to do that. This is what I want to do because I'm already a filmmaker. I'm already a photographer. I've already got these skills.
Yeah.
I just need to go do it. I got to get the van. And so he offered to sell me his van, to which I regretfully denied, and I bought a different van. But once I bought the van, it took me about a year before I actually moved into it. And that was only on the account because the van that I bought had a lot of problems. So I don't recommend buying
Mm-hmm.
vintage vans because you're going to pay for it.
But I remember when I
Pay
was
for it. So
when we did a road trip to Alberta, I saw quite a bit of, if you want to call them, vintage vans, and I always
mhm.
wondered how do they keep up with it, because I'm sure the cost. Sorry. Um, every once in a while, I will run into a technical glitch where when you talk, you go out of my screen. I don't know why, even though we did everything right, and then I lock you in. It happened with Bobby, and now I see that with you. So I'm kind of playing around as you talk, just to make sure if I can bring you back into the picture. So, forgive me, guys. When it
I still
happened,
see me in the picture.
no, you're good. But the problem is, I don't know. You may not notice it, but I see you go out of picture, and then I have to fix it. But anyways, uh,
Mm.
I remember seeing a lot of these vans, and I would always wonder like, how do these guys repair these things? But it looks like a lot of them, you guys are handy. Like, you know what you're doing. If something breaks down, you're capable of fixing. Unlike me, I'm not good at with any of these, and I'll be like, oh, if I'm stuck, I have to call for help. So uh, it's good that you guys have that um, experience or knowledge on
Yeah,
how to fix it.
honestly, I'm not a mechanic, and I don't know that much about fixing my van. But I think what it came down to was the fact that I eventually found a mechanic that I could trust. That was probably the biggest expense that I had to deal with, was going through the shitty mechanics, excuse my language,
Right.
but going through the bad mechanics before you could get to the good one. And once I finally found a good mechanic and somebody I could trust, then everything else started to change. My perspective started to change, because for a while I was feeling about what I had purchased. But once I had the time to build it out and to do the things that I wanted to with it, everything started coming together, and it's just been a hell of an adventure, you know.
Right. And I know currently you're in the West Coast. Um, the
Mm.
last year that you've been in the van, where, what are the places that you've been to? And you know, your intro video was amazing. You were showing a bunch of places, a lot of people involved. Talk us through your adventure over the past year.
So really, all that I have seen is a large part of California, which is what I wanted to do my first year, was just kind of jump around between each major city and spend as much time as I can in one spot every month or two, and then go to the next spot. So most of my travel really was just generally in that area. I only saw a very little bit of
Right.
Arizona. So yeah, I haven't seen that much, because I was working while I was traveling, and like I said, I would spend a month or two in each of the cities. So, yeah, I've got a long ways to go. I've got another 2 or 3 years of traveling to do before I think hang up the code and do something
Now
else.
you mentioned work, right? So I know when you're traveling in a van, you can't be a typical, like, you can't be like me where you hold a regular 9 to 5 job, right? You got a lot of the RVers that I see.
You
So
could, yeah.
before you move into this,
Hmm.
what were you doing as a career, and then how's that transition when you go from van life to a normal person, like the career transition?
The transition was financially not as good as I wanted it to be. That's for sure. I was, prior to doing what I am doing now, is I was a filmmaker, and I was a videographer, and I was a photographer, but most of my income came from real estate photography.
Okay.
That's what I did. That was my bread and butter. So when I basically left, I essentially had to leave all of that behind and start from scratch. And it's obviously, you can't do real estate photography when you're traveling as much as I am. So I had to find something that was, that would, um, work for that. So I moved this that I went to. I was just like, I want to go to a beach city. That's where I want to be, and I'm going to figure that out. And I kind of started getting back into real estate photography, but I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sick of this. I don't like this work. It's not fulfilling. It doesn't feed my soul. I need something else. And I just happened to come across an advertisement on Instagram by Tiny Home Tours on YouTube that was looking for a video editor and videographer.
Right.
And so I reached out to him and I showed him some of my work. And so I started working for him immediately. And it's with that job that gave me the opportunity to meet and travel all over the place. So I would set up these shoots with all these people through Instagram,
Right.
and then I would get to meet them and I would get to tell their stories, and I would do these tour videos, and I would do, I'd try to book as many as I could in each town or city that I went to, so that I could obviously afford the trip and so on and so forth. And that's what I did for a year. And it was amazing. I loved it. I met so many people. It was epic. It was epic. And I'll never regret doing that. Financially, I didn't make a lot of money, honestly, but I made enough because I was living in a van. I didn't really have to worry about it because I had no bills. I literally had two bills: my vehicle insurance, which is $65 a month, and my phone bill, which is about $65 a month. So that was it. That's all I had to
Wow.
worry about, other than gas and food. I was fine. You know.
That's awesome, and I'll replay your introduction video later on as you talk about editing. So now that you mentioned this, I want to get to that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you about. So you've already told me that you went to school and or you learned this. You've done this in the past. So you're a photographer, but you're also a great filmmaker, in my opinion. So I want you to
Thank
tell
you.
me how you learned about all this, and then while you talk, what I'm gonna do is, because this screen is flickering me and it's really annoying me. I've been like kind of, the minute you go out of frame, I've been capturing you and bringing back. So talk to me about that.
Mm.
And guys, while he talks, I'm gonna really go on his YouTube channel and play some of the videos. And before we get to do all that good stuff, as always, what I did is I put his Twitter handle, not Twitter handle, but his YouTube page, and you also have his Instagram page here, and on the description I have his YouTube channel. So again,
Thank you.
we have this issue with people subscribing without watching video and all that. I really don't care, but go watch his stuff. If you want to subscribe right away, do it. Support this guy and follow him on Instagram. And Travis, sorry, you can start explaining your how you got into this movie making stuff and all that, and I will play your channel videos. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, no
All right,
problem.
go ahead, sir.
Uh, so I got into
Right. Oh no. Hang on 1 second, Travis. I think I screwed this up. I well, when I started showing, they lost your feed, so I was just told not to do that. Not very smart of me, so I am sorry, sir. So I know you were talking away.
okay.
Sorry. So I'm gonna have to bring you back. Please forgive me. He was so passionate about explaining all this, and I kind of uh, didn't pay attention to the chat till Travis brought. So I'm sorry, Travis. You're gonna have to explain it all over again. How you
Oh, they
got
can't hear
into?
me?
Yeah.
Ah,
So while you
that
were talking
sucks.
away, your video feed came, but then they couldn't hear. So I'm really sorry.
Oh, bummer. Okay. So can you hear me now though?
Yeah, you guys can hear him now, right? Oh, I see you're involved in the chat too. That's good. Thanks, Travis.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it should be fine because I guess the
Can
minute
you
I
guys
show the
hear me
screen,
now?
yeah, I hear your. Yeah, I think you're fine now because I can
You're
see
not
your
saying
audio.
any
So
words.
again, I'm
Hmm.
so sorry, guys. We're gonna redo this. So take us back as to how you got into filmmaking. Uh, Boom.
Just want to make sure they can hear me.
Yeah,
But
go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Um, okay, great. Thank you guys. All right. So perfect. All right. So I got into the film world essentially from ghost hunting. I was a ghost hunter for 10 years and I would shoot these videos and I needed to edit them. And I had taken a class at ITT Tech that taught me how to edit. So I had the very basic fundamentals for editing. And it turns out that I was actually pretty good at storytelling. It was just natural abilities that I had. And I think it was probably from all the years of watching movies and things like that. And I took these editing skills and I applied for a job in filmmaking. Essentially, I found a filmmaker in Oceanside that was looking for a video editor, and I just told him, "Give me your hardest project, and I'll do my best." And he hired me on the spot after that, and that's really where it started. I actually I have no formal training. I didn't go to school. You know, there was that one class for editing, and that was essentially it. And I actually don't recommend film school. Anybody who wants to get into film or photography, don't go to school. You don't need it for that. Just get a camera and go out there and do it. That's the best
Well,
way to
it's
learn.
funny you say that because I've been talking to my wife saying, look, all these guys are doing such a great job, and I keep thinking that I need to go take a course. But you're telling me
Sure, of course, yeah, no problem, but not school. Take a class on something specific, but you really don't need school to do filmmaking. You just need to do it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm thinking of taking some basic courses. Like, just come sticking with the topic of editing. So when you were critiquing my videos, I was really impressed, guys, with the way how I didn't have to give you much information. You just went on my YouTube channel, picked a video, and this guy, again, some of you all could relate to this already, but I was shocked as to how he can watch my video and tell me that, okay, this video you probably shot it at 30 frames per second, and this video maybe 60 frames per second because you were going. I was shocked. So I'm like, okay, you know, how does this guy know all this? And now I realize that with experience, you can tell by looking at some video as to how many frames per second they were using.
It's not even just the technical details, though. I mean, those are kind of minor things. Obviously, it makes a difference for certain types of storytelling, but in terms of, I think the thing that really breaks it down is understanding the scenes, understanding the B-roll, and understanding the emotion behind it, which is the one thing that I think I try to reiterate with everyone is that how much can you convey the story in such a way that it touches you somewhere here on your heart? Can I make you think of a memory in your past that had something to do with that scene? So it's all these small little details that play around with our subconscious minds that get us excited about what we're watching. And if I can do that, then I've achieved something far more than just a click and a view and a subscription. I've tapped into your
You
soul.
know, I when you did that 20-minute review of my video, one thing that stuck to me is, you went to this cool place. So he looked at the video where I went to up north to film the fall leaves and stuff. It's like you went to a cool place, and you're like, when I did my intro video, you're like, I didn't feel the passion. It's like I couldn't tell that you were so excited. And every time I
Mm,
go in front of the
yeah.
camera, that comes to my mind. And yesterday I did another video about my salmon run. I went into the bushes with my camera by myself. It took me maybe an hour to take a 10-second clip, and throughout the whole time, the only thing I can think of is, remember what Travis said? You don't sound, or you don't look excited. You don't sound excited. And I went through I don't know how many, and I ended up making a bloopers out of that at the end, and everybody is giving me good feedback on. But I
That's good.
constantly thought about it. I'm like, and you also mentioned that when you're talking in front of the camera, think of it as you're talking to a friend. Like, be passionate. Like,
Mm.
I did not know anything. Like, for me, it's like, okay, turn on the camera, say what you gotta say. It doesn't matter if I'm conveying it correctly. Even though I've been watching other YouTubers, and I specifically refer to another gentleman by the name of Kwon, who, when they talk so slow. The video goes in a slow. There's a flow when you watch it. I'm like, you know what? I
Mm.
wanna copy this guy. I wanna do what he's doing. And then after talking to you and listening to what you had to say, and even before we go live, you mentioned a simple way of me putting this a little bit higher so that you don't hear my breathing. These are things that I don't think of. And
Mm.
you know, obviously you got great experience, but an amateur like me, we don't think about these things.
Well, that's what I'm here for, buddy.
So, um, just Travis was very nice, guys. He was able to do all this for me, free of charge. It took 20 minutes. Really, gave me an in-depth review of my video. But it takes up his time. This is not free. He also had to record this whole thing and then pass it over to me. So, if any of you want to have a consultation, or want to improve on something on your YouTube page, whether it's channel art, like I still have a lot to do, please reach out to Travis, whether you go to his Instagram page or YouTube channel. I would prefer that all of you go subscribe to the channel, first of all, and then message him. Travis, I'm going to let you explain the fee structure as to how you want to do it, but I definitely benefited, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us out there that can benefit from your services.
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep this short because I don't really think that this is kind of the basis for like what people are watching for. But when I was getting into filmmaking, I struggled a lot to have a conversation with anybody who had been in the business. It was very, very hard because they're all so busy.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to have anybody even look at my stuff. And when they did, they gave me almost no value whatsoever. They didn't help me really in any way other than you sucked here, here, and here, but they never really gave me constructive criticism. And, for me, it's like there's a wealth of knowledge that I have in terms of storytelling, in terms of B-roll, in terms of lighting and emotion. I'm thinking about all of those elements, and I can help you if you're a filmmaker or a photographer or you're a YouTube creator and you need some guidance. I'm happy to do that. And typically I can spend anywhere from an hour to 2 hours really breaking down every single kind of detail to give you a lot to think about for a price of $50, which I think is pretty reasonable. So yeah.
For anyone in the game, long term, you want to improve, and obviously, we're all trying to build our channels, right? We're trying to grow it, and I'm sure there's a big difference between staying the way you are and improving and reaching out to people like you. I think it will benefit everybody here to just kind of improve your channel. And like I said, you're not only giving coach back on videos and how to make filmmaking, but you're also helping with channel art, even what kind of microphone to use, and a bunch of other stuff, which I thought I still have to talk to you about that. You mentioned something about the sound. You showed it on Amazon too. I couldn't pay attention, but again, for $50, I think it's well worth it. Now,
Thanks,
uh,
buddy.
what I'm gonna do, Travis, is I'm gonna. My intention was to, while you talk, I wanted to show some of your videos, but I can't. But I still want to go to your channel and play at least one or two clips, so that people here can see the quality. And before I do that, you shoot your stuff and 1080p, right? These are not
Yeah.
4K. And
Yeah.
I remember you showed me you play around with the editing software, like a minor tweak, just to at least improve color. So if you don't mind, just hang
Sure.
tight.
Yeah. Let's see it, buddy.
I'm gonna play one of the videos, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play how you critique the video, and I'm gonna play the one that you did for me. So just
Okay.
stand by. First of all, let me play your intro video that you sent me. I think that speaks a lot about your channel overall. So let me just play that very quickly, and then I'll show your channel. So guys, here is the famous intro video that I've been sharing for the last two shows. And again, I thought this is like
My name is
movie
Travis
set.
Cosentino, and I live in my van.
And
I've been doing van life for about a year now, and I love it. This channel is going to be about vlogging. It's going to be about my life, traveling on the road as a filmmaker and
I
photographer.
think I played
Van
this
life
quite
is
a few times, guys, but
is
again,
connection. I got into this life because I wanted to meet people. I would not be where I am today if it weren't for the people that I met on the road. These people have come through for me in ways that I could have never imagined, and I am eternally grateful for it. That to me is my bread and butter. That's what I get the most out of it, is just
your page. So Travis, I'm just gonna go and show these guys your page and a couple of the videos that you have there.
Okay.
Okay, so while this is playing, guys, I'm sorry I don't pay attention to the chat, but I see Alma Network USA. Thank you. You almost been supporting me regularly in the last few shows. Um, on my description, guys, I have the link to her channel, as well as Travis. So please check them out. I like Alma Network 'cause she's kind of like us. She travels a lot. And for those who are watching the video, um, I don't know. You mentioned something about loot. We'll come back to it. We'll ask Travis later. But to me, I feel like I'm in a theater watching like a sick movie. No, it's
For real. This is actually like a really basic video right here. It's just a vlog about me upgrading the van. It's nothing really that
Give
special,
me, give
but
me 1 second,
thank you.
Travis. I want to make sure these guys hear what you have to say. But again, you know, let me stop this so that I can come back. Because Travis, you just mentioned something that's okay. So I got Travis back on screen. Not the way I wanted it, but unlucky. Okay, so you're good. So again, guys, watching that, I feel like I'm in a movie theater. But you just mentioned that it's just a minor thing that you have to change to make it look like that.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying that's a super basic vlog video. That to me is not like anything fantastic or whimsical or whatever. That was a very basic video.
And you shoot these using what? Like, what cameras do you use? Like, uh,
I use a DSLR Canon 80D.
I see a lot of people using. See, I have a DSLR, but I'll be very honest with you, man. I prefer grabbing my GoPro than the DSLR. But
depends on it depends on your level of like expertise with using a camera, because I think the thing with a GoPro is that you have a fixed lens,
yeah,
so you can't, obviously you can only have one view, and it's certainly ideal for, like, when you're walking or whatever, and they've actually gotten quite good with the stability, but a DSLR gives you far more range for control, and that's what it really comes down to. Especially as a filmmaker, you want to be able to control every single shot.
see, when
So,
you, I mean, again, so the last video that I did, I don't know how many takes I had to do, but then when you come home, you play each one of them and you play, and you obviously try to find the, the one that you think is the best before you upload it, right? Now, in terms of editing software, okay, ever since I started my YouTube channel almost 2 years ago, I've been sticking with um, Filmora. That's what I use. Is there something that you recommend? I pay for it. I think I paid like $130 a year like lifetime to use it. Is there one that you recommend for anyone who's new that can give some great features, like to showcase like your videos? What can you do?
well, I have really only been using one my entire life, which is Adobe Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro. It's the only one I've ever used, and I really have had no reason to try or use anything else. I'm not a Mac user. I don't need Final Cut. So Premiere has been perfect. I love it. They are always updating and coming out with newer features, better features, and it's they're essentially all the same, though. They all do the same thing, but I just like the constant updating and the constant optimizing the program to work better for newer computers and things like that. And so, yeah, I recommend Adobe Premiere, and it's affordable because, I mean, back in the day, you had to pay $2,000 for that stuff. Now you can get it a monthly fee of like $20 a month. It's
Wow.
super
I
affordable,
remember
Yeah, it's
looking into
nothing.
it a couple of years ago, and like you just mentioned, the fee was like, okay, I'm not paying this much money, but now you're saying there's a cheaper way.
It's monthly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's monthly now. They don't even sell it anymore. At least I don't think they do, except for maybe schools. But yeah, you just pay a monthly fee, and you can pay. I think for $30, you get Photoshop and Illustrator and After Effects and Premiere Pro. You get all of them. So it's worth it for sure. Especially if you're a creator, somebody who's using this content on a
Yeah, I
regular
mean, for
basis.
$20, that's pretty cheap. Because I was talking with another colleague
Yeah,
to
it's a
say,
good
hey,
deal.
should we try? Because he is using it. I think he has access to it somehow, and he went from using something similar to mine. I don't know the name, and then he switched to the Premiere. I think the last few videos that he released, and I can tell the difference. Like whatever he was using to Premiere Pro, the quality, like I feel like you know, he's at a next level. So um, that's definitely something that I would explore. But you know, just like anything else, you have to learn. You got to put the time and effort to to learn it. Now, we talked about editing. We talked about your passion for van life. I want to come back. You did mention that you're staying with a friend, and before the show, I asked you
Hmm.
if you can have a tour of your van, and you said there's one in some other channel. Tell me that you said you're doing some work
Hmm.
on your van.
Yeah, so I have a tour on Tiny Home Tours. You can find
So
it
is
there,
this is somebody
and
else's YouTube channel that you?
somebody else's channel. That's a channel that I work
Okay,
for.
so
Yeah,
tiny tours,
Home Tours.
tiny home tours.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And you said you're redoing your van currently.
yeah. Here, let me. I'll find it for you real quick. Hold on a second.
Okay. And if you want to put the link, I'll update the description. The only thing
I'll send it to
is
you
I
on
would love
Facebook.
to showcase while you talk a portable toilet for my procedures. See, that's another question that I was going to ask. So somebody actually asked already.
It's all good. Happy to
Oh,
answer
that's
again.
that's my wife, eh? She's beating me to it. I have a few
That's
silly
so
questions. Where do
funny.
you shall I go? Okay, you know what? Okay, share the link, but I do want to actually ask so you can share with everybody else.
Yeah.
Because you know, you when you have this big RVs, they have built-in toilets and all that, right? But then a van, we talked about it so many times, and maybe you should come and do the interview, baby. I know. She was like, "That's so
Yeah.
cool."
We're going over. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. There's always a way to make it work.
Okay, so you send
Absolutely.
me the link.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer
So
those
you
in
know what?
detail too.
Let's do it. Because if I play the video,
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm gonna cut your feet.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
just answer
go
that
for it.
real quick? Yeah, let's. Okay, so yeah, you get a membership at like a Planet Fitness for $10 a month. Super affordable, and you can take showers there anytime you want. If you pay $20 a month, you get massages. I mean, it's kind of a steal, really, and it's super affordable. I mean, $20 a month for massage every day, shower every day. You
Wow.
can't beat it. As far as bathroom, they have portable toilets. It's mine's about a 2.5-gallon portable toilet. It fits right up underneath my bed, and when I gotta go, that's where I go. And then, uh, you know, prior to COVID, there were bathrooms everywhere, so I could essentially dump it anywhere because it's designed to be dumped to a regular toilet. So that's basically what I would use. And then in terms of, I also have a portable shower that I use. So if I'm at the beach, I can fill it up with the water spigots they have for the showers. And then I let it sit on top of the van for about 2 hours, and it heats it up so that when I use it, I have a hot water shower. Totally works. And then what was the other question?
Did she already ask it?
Where do
Oh
you
yeah.
park at night? So
Yeah.
she asked me where I park at night. So yeah, a lot of people will park in like commercial areas, but I really frown on that because there's some not so nice looking people out there. I'd like to stay away from those people as much as I can. So I typically go to like residential neighborhoods, and I'll just sleep in front of somebody's house, and I'll wake up and I'll be on my way, and sometimes depending on what neighborhood it is, I can be kind of off, far off, kind of down that street, and nobody really knows or bothers me or whatever. It just kind of depends. Usually the best places to actually park at night are towns that have lots of rentals. So, Palm Springs got tons of rentals. Nobody lives out there. It's all rentals. Huntington Beach is a great example. So just park in front of the rentals. Nobody's going to say anything.
And you don't get any trouble with the cops, running your plate and it's like, what are you doing? None
No.
of that.
I've had the cops call to me a couple of times in the 1 year that I've been doing van life, and they always just say, look, we really don't care that you sleep in a van. We would much rather you slept in your vehicle than on the streets. But since somebody called, we're going to have to ask you to move. And that's it. And then you just move. You just move somewhere 50 feet away. It's not a big deal. They don't care.
We hear that Walmart is another place that they don't care if you park there overnight. Have you ever done that?
Mm. Yes, I have parked at Walmarts. However, they don't allow you to stay indefinitely for a while. And some Walmarts don't even do it anymore. It used to be a thing maybe 5, 6 years ago where Walmarts were very open to it. In fact, I
Yeah.
think even as long as 10 years ago, where a lot of RVers would park there and whatnot. But the places where they don't are usually busy urban cities. They just don't allow that. But if you're far away, like off in Joshua Tree, they're fine with it because you're probably near a national park, and so they're used to it. It's not a big deal, but it just depends.
So even then, so they keep track of how many nights you're staying, and then they'll probably say, okay, that's it for you. You can.
Yeah, and then they'll come up to you and say, hey, you've gotta take off. So,
Wow.
but I mean, they're cool about it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can we switch a little bit of traveling international? Since I always say my channel is about travel. Uh, what are the places you've been outside of U.S.?
Well, I as in terms of travel, that was the thing is like that was one of the major reasons why I got into van life is because I wanted to be able to afford to travel all over the
Mm-hmm.
place. But most of my travel, like I said, for the first year was in California. I haven't seen much else, to be honest with you. So in terms of like my travel that I did prior to that, I was in the
Right.
military for 3 years and they sent me to Kuwait. And I didn't get to see the city. I didn't get to enjoy myself out there. It wasn't a vacation. So I wouldn't say that it was a great experience. It was all sand dunes. I was in Arkansas for training. I never really got to see much. And like I said, my parents never went anywhere. So, I mean, my life from like childhood to 40 something was not exciting. Not really. I did some like whitewater rapids and that's about it.
And you
I got a lot left to do.
you have plans to visit anywhere in within Canada once this COVID-19 and border stuff clears up?
Yeah, I have for the longest time the one primary trip that I've wanted to take is to go from Southern California up north into Oregon, Washington, Canada, and then eventually Alaska.
So that is well. I hope. I mean, again with COVID-19, we don't know when this thing's gonna stop, but I really hope because we took the road trip to the Rockies, Alberta, West Coast. It is absolutely amazing. So, and we saw a lot of people, van, RVs. Uh, so, um, I'm gonna take. I don't want to say a break, but I'm gonna pause for a second, guys. I have Travis's channel on my description. I also put him on the support, one of the support channels, and he's showing up at the top. So I would kindly ask that you guys check him out. You got his Instagram handle. Make sure you guys go and follow. Um, I used to be not too active on Instagram, but then lately I've been following quite a few people. So I always say this: this is free. You don't pay for it. Go subscribe to his channel. And Travis, before I forget, how often do you release new videos on your channel?
Once a week.
Is there a specific day or is it
Uh,
random?
yeah, Friday at 5 p.m. every week, and sometimes I'll put out a video on Saturdays. Just depends on how much video or filming I can get done in a week. But yeah, every Friday at 5 p.m. there's a new episode.
Perfect. And one of the question that I asked Travis in the beginning when I saw your channel was like, I was expecting you to have thousands and thousands of subscribers, and when I saw that, okay, I was
Wouldn't that be
well,
great?
you're gonna get there. I absolutely have no doubt that you're one video away from, I don't know, someone with a large following that's gonna say, look at this guy, and so it's gonna happen. And I ask my guests every single show, a year from now, I don't know how big you're gonna be, I don't know where you're gonna be, but if you can come back and join us for fun on the same show, hopefully I'll be doing a show. I I think I like what I'm doing, so I will
Oh yeah,
continue.
totally be down.
I would
Yeah, it'd be fun.
love to see. So last time I checked, you were at, I think you were at 400 something. So I'm hoping I want to see 4 million if I can, if not even more, because you got some
Wouldn't that be amazing, right?
you got some great
Yeah.
great content, and like I said, you're you're I'm gonna use the word expert. You know what you're doing. I've seen some of the editing work that you're doing, and I can only hope that you get a massive following, and then I can proudly say
That would,
that
that's the
uh,
dream, right?
it will happen. I have no doubt it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna say, hey, you remember that Travis guy? He was on this show. Um, I'm gonna ask anybody here. I see there's 11 people live, guys. I when I started doing these shows, I used to have a background for myself. I would post my stuff, and then I would have a second one for the guest. I stopped doing that because most of the people that joins these are quite the regulars. So please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if any of you here are not subscribed to my channel, I really hope that you guys hit that subscribe button. Um, I used to do this again. I think Travis, I told you, I started off. I went live first over a drink because I always hesitant. Everybody were doing live. I'm like, should I do live? Should I do live? But I'm like, what if I go live and there's no one? That thought just killed me. And I think it was Friday, the first time I went live. I just had a couple of drinks. Well, no, this is a coconut drink, but I had a few drinks and I went live. And I think I stayed online for 2 hours because there was quite a few people. And then the second time,
That's cool, man.
now I can seriously count on quite a few people that comes on board quite regularly. So for all of you guys, I appreciate it, and most of you are awesome. All the guests that comes on the show, you guys are very supportive. So I expect the same thing for Travis. Um, you know, I'm not going to be doing the show 3 times a week. I'm just going to cut it down starting next week to once a week. As to when, I'm not sure. I am talking to quite a few people. There's an exciting family that I'm talking to where they spent 8 or 9 months with 2 kids in Australia, going to different parts of Australia. So I'm talking to them, and there's a bunch of other RVers that I'm also talking to. So for those who wants to join the show, again, guys, just send me a message. As long as you're on YouTube, you do something quite regularly, I'll be happy to have you guys. Obviously, we talk about mainly travel, and then whatever niche that my guests go. And for Travis, I invited him because I love RV, and I was in love with the editing. So once again, uh, really appreciate Travis taking the time and joining in. And I know we talked about bringing you on board before, but then I had to really schedule all this, and we've been going back and forth. So if anybody else have any questions, you guys put it in. But Travis, we talked about your RV life, career. One thing that I wanted to bring it up a
Barely.
little bit earlier on, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait, is tell me about dating life. How does that impact when you're on the and I know you had
Sucks.
an amazing video.
It's terrible.
So tell me.
Yeah, I made a video that's very specific to van life dating.
Yeah, I watched that. I'm like, you know what?
Awful. Don't
It's
recommend it.
go ahead, tell me. Talk to me about it.
Well, I mean, here's the biggest thing is like, I'm not 20 years old. I'm not the super fit, sexy young man that I was before where, living in a van was cool. I'm in my 40s, and women think very strongly like, he's in his 40s. He doesn't have any kids. He's never been married. What's wrong with him? That's usually what's going through their minds. And like I said, they kind of play around with the excitement and the idea of, oh, he's traveling and he lives in a van, and that's so cool. But like, then those other things start coming in their brain, and then it just sucks. And like, prior to moving into the van, I was already struggling with dating. It just, I don't know, like maybe I suck at it. I don't know, but like online dating is awful. It's so bad. It's even worse now. And I was talking very specifically about ghosting in my van life dating video, and how that is so bad, and yet it's like accepted to be rude to people, but whatever. Anyways, van life and dating blows. It's terrible because people, for whatever reason, even though van life is growing and it's getting bigger and crazier and millions of people are doing it, there's still that small group of people that have no clue what it is. And when they hear about it, they're confused and they're scared and they're like, who is this creepy guy living in a van, and is he watching me while I sleep? I mean, all these crazy, ridiculous things that they think about. I can't even tell you. I've literally had people like walk up to my van and say, were you taking pictures of me? I don't have a camera on me, but they're just like, there's something wrong with them, but yeah, van life dating blows. It sucks badly. It's a terrible experience. I literally had 3 dates. One that was like a official actual date where we met and we went out and had drinks and food, like a regular date. The other ones were just like we met like for coffee, or I guess that's a regular date. I met her at her house, It's been pretty much, it's just been pretty awful, to be honest with you. But I'm still looking. I'm still single, ladies.
We
Just
have
curious.
that's a good question. Do we have any ladies? Check them out. But I guess eventually you do want to, I don't want to use the word settle down, but you do want to, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, of course I want to settle down. Like, I mean, prior to moving into the van, I tried so hard to like find some adventurous gal that was willing to go and do van life with me. I wanted to experience it with someone, not by myself, because van life can be very lonely.
I was gonna say.
Oh, God, it can be so lonely. Absolutely. I mean, especially when you're traveling as much as I was, and I really didn't have a lot of time to kind of establish myself in each of the communities. I'd be there for just a little while, but I mean, I would find very specific places I would go to because I'm a creature of habit, and then that's where I would go, and it just, it wasn't the greatest. Do it with somebody if you can, at least just the first time,
Because I still remember driving out west. It was a 4-day drive, and I'm just thinking in my head, if I were to do this by myself, I think I would have given up the first day. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. So I can't imagine how crazy that is when you're all by yourself. So.
But it's also good because, I mean, van life forces you to reflect. It forces you to look inside. It's like going to the desert. It's so quiet that you just have to listen to yourself, and it's good to be alone. It's good to have that one-on-one time with yourself so that you can reflect and focus on what's important. And so I don't have any regrets about doing it by myself, but I do wish I could do it with someone else, ideally. But like I said,
it'll come. I mean, it's just.
It'll come, and it's sometimes you have to. You just, if you have dreams and you have these things that you want to fulfill, you can't always wait for somebody to come along and do it with you. You just have to go out there and do
like
it.
I said, maybe a year from now when you come back, I may have your partner sitting right next to you. I mean, ultimately, that's what I want.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. Yeah, me too.
Just a quick note, I see 11 people live, so once again, thank you all. Travis, when I checked your Instagram earlier, I'm very bad. I don't keep tab of things, but I really hope his subscriber base goes up, guys. So please check him out, and he does have amazing content. And for those who missed the earlier part, for a small fee, this guy will go through your channel, give you feedback on your channel art, your intro video, and he will pick some random videos and he will give you some great tips on how to improve. And this is not like, okay, go buy yourself a $2,000 camera. No, with the cameras that you have, small things that you can do to make your videos much better. So
absolutely,
whether you message him on YouTube or send him an Instagram message, doesn't matter. Get in touch with them. I loved the fact that you were able to help me out, and I'm sorry I still haven't did an intro video. I remember the next day or a couple of days after we spoke, we went to the falls, right? I'm like, we're gonna do a family intro,
Yeah.
and guess what? We could not get it done. Same thing. We sat down with the kids. You know, I had the camera set up. I couldn't get it done. So uh, I still have that crappy car ride as my introduction video. So I need to get
Yeah, you gotta
rid of that.
change that.
And um,
Yeah.
for those of us here, um, you know, most people that I interact with, we have a niche, whether it's travel. And I know you mentioned in my case, um, I do quite a few things on my channel, and I'm having such a hard time divorcing myself from, you know, okay, just keep my channel for travel videos, do your live shows somewhere else. I'm still struggling with the idea, you know, what can you tell somebody like me who 2 years in, I think I'm just nearing 700 subscribers mark, doing all kind of things in a channel. What can you tell somebody like me, like, to say keep it to something very specific and not do 10 million things? Like, what kind of tips would you say, or what would you tell a person? What would be your advice?
For a
Like
video or
keeping
just in
a
general?
channel, like if it's travel, you want to keep your channel travel related, right? You don't want to have live interviews, and you don't have birds. Like, your channel has to reflect of what you do. Like, for you, in your case, it's van life.
I totally agree with that. It's van life and travel and vlogging, essentially. Yeah, and you know, I think all of us, when we first start out with a YouTube channel, we have lots of ideas of the
Yeah.
things we want to do. And I know for a fact that I have been wanting to teach film for the longest time. I've been thinking about that a lot because I have so much to share. Because I feel like a lot of these YouTube film teaching and videography and even some of the editing are missing some very, very specific elements. And usually it has a lot to do with the why, because they'll always tell you the how, but they won't ever tell you the why you're supposed to do these things. And it's really important. And so there's that, but I'm not going to do that with my travel vlog channel. It has to
Completely.
be completely separate. But then where do I have the time to do that? So it's like, I think we all.
Oh, yeah.
Can
Sorry,
you
I
hear me?
lost you very briefly. No, no, it's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, it's kind of broken. Anyways, yeah, we're all struggling, like try to figure out like what are we going to do. But since we're at a point where we're less than 1,000 subscribers, I feel like it's okay to still kind of experiment and try those things. And I have seen lots of big time YouTubers that started out doing 3 or 4
Yeah.
different things on their channel before they finally found that niche that fit. So don't hold it against yourself if you change it from travel to, say, just doing these interviews. Like I said, the thing that's most important is following your heart and listening to what completes you. What are you excited about doing every day? Because if it's not travel and it's more this, then do this. And if you can put the travel in there too, great. But it's always, what is it that fulfills your soul?
Ever since you and I had the I want to say in-depth conversation about my channel, I've been kind of debating whether I should change the name of my channel. But I know one thing, I'm really struggling to say. I don't want to split this. Like, this interview thing started, and I really like it because I get to meet some interesting characters, right? But is it fair to keep it on this channel? I still don't know what I'm doing, but like you said, we're still under 1,000 subscribers. We still have a long way to go before we niche out. But um, to me, I think it's important. No matter what you do, you improve on your filmmaking skills, and that's where you came in. And I was really appreciative of the work that you've done for me. And I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to play that video too to show you that you know, a small setting that you were saying on how to boost your color can make a big difference as to how.
Yeah, see it.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It's the subtlest thing for sure.
Yeah, and again, it's not hard, right? Most editing software will have an option to boost colors, so you just have to sit around, play with it,
Sure.
and find your comfort level. And one thing I did not do in the past was, you told me have somebody view your video before you go live. I did not do that. When I was done, it was always up to me. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm gonna publish it. But in the last 2 weeks or so, I am very cautious. I actually get my wife to come over and kind of view my video and give me a feedback before I publish it. So again, thanks to you and the 20-minute feedback that you gave me, greatly helped me, or it's still helping me on the long run with the videos that I do. Um,
Oh, good, man. I'm
14
happy to help
people
you.
still online. I know I told you my show is kind of unscripted. Um, I don't write things down. I only did it once with the guest from 2 weeks or two shows ago, where I actually wrote down the questions and in order. You and I, we've been chatting away for the last an hour and 6 minutes, and I think you've been live with me for the last hour. So, um, as far as questions about vans and all that, we've covered it. If anybody here, you guys have any specific questions to Travis, you're welcome to put it on the chat. He's pretty engaged on the chat already. If not, I expect all of you to go to his channel and show your love. Actually, you know what? While I have you on the line, I'm just gonna go to your channel and see. I don't keep track, but I think you're 400 and something, right? I really hope you.
416.
I really hope.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing: is that I love having new subscribers, and I love having people watch my videos. That's great, but I don't want you to do it just to do it in spite of doing it. I want you to do it because you actually enjoy watching them. I don't want to have that sort of just subscribe just to do it kind of thing. Do it because you want to kind of thing. For me,
A lot of my
okay.
people that comes here, they actually take the time, and you'll see it. Okay, they go watch your videos. Again, I'm sure if somebody doesn't love about RV stuff, I don't expect them to go watch something they don't like. But again, you're right. You gotta enjoy what you're putting out. If it's not something that you enjoy, you don't
Yeah.
have to. But still, show your support, man. To me, I'll encourage anybody, just come watch it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But um, any support is welcome. At least from me, when I do these shows, I highly encourage everybody go check them out.
So I wanted to say, before I don't know if you're going to end it or whatnot, but I just wanted to say I have, filmed so many different people in the van life community. Probably over 100 people in the last year. So I am a wealth of knowledge when it comes to schoolies and RVs and van life and living on the road. If you have any questions at all that are kind of playing around in your mind, please feel free to ask me. And even filmmaking or photography or anything like that. I've been in this business for 7 years now. I've made countless documentary films. So I mean, now is as good a time as any to ask any questions that you might have on any
So
of those
yeah,
subjects.
it doesn't have to be live. Even later on, find the guy on Instagram
Sure.
and
Yeah.
ask your questions. Um, you're pretty responsive. You and I've been chatting for the last, I don't know, a month now, if I can say it. You're pretty good. Uh, you're almost instant when I ask you a question, you get back. So um, send me your question, guys. Like I said, he said $50. To me, that's not a lot of money, especially the return that you get out of it. Especially if you want to be long term content creators, I think we can all spend it. And I think I already mentioned this to you when I was talking earlier. If you ever design a course, you bet I
Yeah, I'm
will
going to.
subscribe. Not subscribe, but I want it because I'm actively exploring taking a course, whether it's college or private or whatever. So if you put out something, uh, you bet you got at least one guy waiting to sign up for you.
Cool, man. I'll take it.
I'll give anybody in the audience 12 people live. Any questions, guys? If not, Travis, I really enjoyed having you, sir. Thank you. Um, Unscripted.
It's my pleasure.
I know I was struggling with with you kind of coming in and out, but I've been fixing it right away because my my first case where I had this trouble, I couldn't do anything. I just let it happen, and it was going back and forth, back and forth. But with you, I will just grab it and fix it immediately. So, forgive me, guys. I still can't understand. Maybe I need to Google it as to why that happens. If there's no questions, I will thank you, Travis, for your time. And like I said, I will be in touch with you. I will love to have you back a year from now so we can look back as to what we did today.
Yeah, it sounds good,
Thank you,
man.
sir. Um, yeah,
Thank you.
so I don't see much questions coming in, but guys, please find this guy on Instagram, follow him, and like I said, if RV is your thing, if traveling is your thing, if film editing is your thing, you gotta check out his channel. So, Travis, thank you, sir. I wish you a great night.
Yep, my pleasure.
Cheers.
Thanks, buddy.
And for those
Bye.
here on the on live still with me, thank you. I appreciate every one of you for joining tonight. Travis was a pretty amazing guy. Like I said, as soon as I reached out to him, asking him to review my channel, he did not hesitate. Almost immediately jumped in, and then he sent me a private video of him critiquing my video, and gave me a lot of useful tips. I'm fortunate that he was able to do that for free of charge, but for anyone else looking to improve your filmmaking skills, $50 in the grand scheme of things, for, like I said, for those who are on the long run, I think it's well worth it. I'm gonna do a quick shout out to a bunch of people, and then we can end the show for today. Alma Network USA, you are pretty consistent in the last little while, so thank you for always joining the show, and I know you have lots of travel videos. I have her channel in my description. Please check her out. Again, she's been to so many countries: Switzerland, Iceland, you name it. Watching her videos just brings me back, my own memories when I visited these countries. And a bunch of other people that I support have always been pretty good. Let me go to my channel here. Let's do the roundtable, starting with Cone. Cone has a video set for premiere. Oh, it already premiered. Oh, jeez. So I thought it was 10 p.m. So, anyways, amazing food. So please make sure you guys check out his channel. And he is 305 subscribers. I want to see his count go up as well. We both kind of talk on a regular basis, trying to come up with ideas to grow our channel. After Cone is Nomad Honda. This guy, I think he's still doing the Western trip. He was in the Rockies in Alberta. Got some great footage that he is working on. When he comes back, he'll be updating them. Again, he's another guy that I would love to have on my show, because he actually has plans to do a road trip within the US once this whole pandemic is done. Next is Autour du Monde. So French Autour du Monde, around the world. They now started making episodes in English and in French. I really love how they do their show. The way they talk, the way they put together the movies. It is absolutely amazing. Please check them out. He's another great guy, and as you can see, supporting somebody else is really not too hard, and I'm thankful that they are promoting us in return. Next is Artie's channel. she's been doing quite well. She came on the show earlier on. She lives in California with her husband, and they both make great videos. Um, the last one is the pumpkin carving, where I was saying in the beginning of the show where she paid 15 US dollars for a pumpkin, which I could not believe because we pay what 60 cents here for a pumpkin. And again, I'm thankful that she promotes a bunch of channels here, myself and Cone. I like it. She's been growing steadily, and uh, loving life hitched up. Very funny couple. They have their RV. I missed quite a few of their videos too. I should go back and watch, but I watched this one where they respond to 40 questions, and we've been called upon, me, Cone, and a bunch of other YouTubers to respond. So I think I'm gonna make that my next project. Continuing on is Tokyo Smith. Again, videos comes out almost every day where he does driving. There you go. I missed out a bunch of his videos too, so I've been catching up in the last few days. Again, this guy is someone that I will reach out to when I go to Japan, whenever international travel becomes a norm. Again, amazing videos of him touring Japan for us. So see, he put out one 15 hours ago, so I need to go watch that. Coming back, Paksek. Oof. So again, he loves food. He sticks to food. I think he's experimenting live stream as well. So I'm actually looking forward to watching his streams. And you see, there's bunch, and I think I need to catch up on some. So great food, great guy, great channel. Extremely entertaining to actually watch him. And continuing on, Sundays with Heart. They were on our show, on our last show. Extremely funny couple. They do some crazy stuff. Just say they're a train wreck. Go watch them. They release a video every Sunday, and then midweek they come up with another video as well. This one came out yesterday. I watched the first 20 odd minutes. Again, very nice couple, well traveled. They both been to so many different countries. If you guys want to know more about these guys, check out my previous show. I have a separate playlist for all the shows that we do that you can come and watch. And they've been experimenting with lots of short videos as well, because it's kind of the trend too, right? So check them out. Valis Classic, oh my god, she is awesome. I didn't ask her for permission, so I can't really play the video, but look at this one. I watched the first 20 minutes. It's a place called Ipoh, and I'm telling you, when I watched this, I really felt like I was in the Avatar movie, like surreal. So we would definitely go back to Malaysia and hit some of these places because it's gorgeous. Her main is cooking, but she's been doing some travel as well. So and next is RV There. I missed quite a few of their videos too in the last little while. Young couple with their 2 dogs. Love the RV life. Quite entertaining to watch all their hikes and whatnot. I need to touch base with them because we've been talking about doing a show with them, but I know they've been trying to sort out some stuff, so I gotta reach out. And I think they also do live streams not quite regularly, but I think they've been experimenting. So we should see more live from them. And last but not least, Bobby, career coach, um, kind of mentioned here. Let me hide this screen share. Um, he is the sponsor of this show, and this is the first time that I do it. He has a course designed to support you, whether you're planning to make a career change, or you're not happy at work, or just need some general counseling overall. He's putting out some great content. You know, I feel like I'm gonna call him a kid, but I should stop doing that because he's a professional and he's working hard. So I'm thankful for him for sponsoring this show. Um, Please check him out, trulybobby.com. He's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, and a bunch of other social media platforms. And he happens to be a guest on this show too a while back. So you guys can listen to his story. Um, Beat out COVID 19. Used to work in the restaurant industry. Um, for his age, I think he's 25. Very mature. Um, I keep a close eye on what he does. I can see this kid doing. I shouldn't say kid. Sorry. I can see him doing some great stuff. So, check out the masterclass that he's offering. I think he's a joint venture with bunch of people. If this is something for you, you should definitely check his website or his Facebook page. And last but not least, Alma Network. I was supposed to take a snapshot to show it, but she does travel videos. I think I've mentioned quite a few times already. Her link is on my description. Please check her out. And for those of you who on a regular basis join the show, chat with us, I really appreciate every single one of you. And I'm sorry that I'm staring at the camera and at another screen, so that's why you constantly see me, because I'm not, because I do the screen, actually, you know what, the screen share is blocked. So because I do that, I tend to look at the different screens so that I don't show you guys the live feed details, right? I don't think it really matters, but I don't like to show that. Defeats the purpose. But again, today's guest was Travis. Pretty nice guy. Oh, see, I missed out all this chat. No wonder why I cannot see any chat here. Oh gosh. Guys, I'm so sorry. I just noticed that you guys are talking because my other screen is not even showing any of these questions. Tokyo Smith, Frankie, have a good one. Oh, see, a bunch of my colleagues from work showed up as well, which again, I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. Tokyo Smith, thank you. Alma Network. Oh, look at that. So I like this, guys. So she's traveling, and we have Tokyo Smith, who's already chatting with her. So that's really nice. And Shamra, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you. And I didn't realize that Cone was on this freaking thing all along. Then why wouldn't this thing show me anything? No wonder why I was like, ugh. Guys, I was staring at the wrong screen. So I'm sorry, guys. That was a great show. Thank you, Tokyo Smith. Again, I appreciate you guys encouraging me. That's really good. And I really appreciate. And I still see that Travis is on the show chatting away. So thank you, Travis. It was nice having you, sir. And like I said, please, man, put out a content for video making. I bet you any money you'll be making some money on the side. Again, if you're into RV, if you like being on the road, if you like traveling overall, if you like meeting new people, you guys have to check out his channel. Pretty cool guy. You guys, most of you are watching the show. Support him. And one thing he mentioned that struck me was don't just go subscribe for the sake of subscribing, which is right. When you don't hit your minimum mark, you need to get monetized. Yeah, we all look at the numbers, but you got to look at the long run, right? You want to have people that comes and watch your stuff on a regular basis. So uh, you got to enjoy what they put out. So check him out. You don't have to subscribe, but at least check his channel, check what he has to offer. I like the guy. I like what he's doing. And for $50, it's not a lot of money to get some feedback on your channel. So I think that's it for me for today. There's 13 people in the house. I would like to say, oh, even Vala's Classic is on, which I didn't notice. So Vala's Classic, thank you for joining. My bad, guys. I think I was pretty bad today of not checking who are on. So that's it for me, guys. I could stick around. I love when there's people. As you all know, it helps with your watch hours and whatnot. But no point of holding live and not doing something productive. So starting next week, my goal is do this once a week. I'm talking to a bunch of people still. I'll schedule them in, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing live, because live is another way of getting user engagement. So I actually enjoy doing this, so I'm not going to stop it. I will be going live maybe some point tomorrow night. I've been wanting to do the pumpkin carving with my daughter. I've been kind of holding off on it because I wanted to experiment a live show where I can enjoy carving the pumpkin. So maybe tomorrow I will do that. Kon and I started off doing live by just going live when we would edit the videos. So I think that's something that I would still continue doing, and I really can't wait for Kon to go live next so we can join and have some fun. I still remember the days where he will be live and then I will be live, and then we'll have the screen turned at each other. We just talk away. So I actually missed that. I think we should do that, Kon. I don't know if you're still on. Second thing, I started off by saying my princess, my firstborn, she's getting her first Holy Communion this Saturday. So we've been kind of running around trying to get the last minute stuff done. So I'm extremely proud of her, and I'm actually looking forward to this on Saturday. That's it for today, guys. So again, I would stay if you guys have any questions. I'm okay to keep you guys and yak, but if not, thank you all for being part of my show today, and I wish you all a great day. Now I gotta go watch some more shows. Have a good one, guys.